Emma with Epilepsy Alliance Ohio, and welcome back to our mini-series on epilepsy, where we explore a wide range of topics to help you better understand epilepsy and how it impacts lives. In today's video, we're focusing on a critical part of the epilepsy journey, the transition from childhood epilepsy care to adult care. For children and families living with epilepsy, this shift can feel like a big change, but it's also an important step toward greater independence and self-management. If you're in adolescence or you know someone with epilepsy going through this stage of life, you know it's a time for major changes. Epilepsy in adolescence comes with its own unique set of challenges, from healthcare transitions to making important life decisions. So, in today's video, we're going to dive into what it's really like for teens with epilepsy and how to navigate this exciting yet challenging time. Adolescence is already a time of growth and change, but for young people living with epilepsy, that brings a whole new layer of complexity. A huge part of this stage is transitioning from a pediatric care system, one where you might have had a care team that's been with you for years and that's familiar with your family and history, to an adult care system. This shift can feel pretty daunting. The adult healthcare system may not feel as personal, and the care teams might be less familiar. For many teens, this means they're stepping into more responsibility when it comes to managing their health, often needing to advocate for themselves in ways that they haven't done before. And here's the thing. Transitioning from pediatric to adult care isn't just about doctors or hospitals. It's about taking ownership of your health. As an adolescent, this is when you start having to speak up for yourself during medical appointments, keep track of medications, and make decisions about your own care. It can be a lot to juggle, but it's also an important step toward gaining independence. Now, another challenge that often comes with adolescence, especially for those with epilepsy, is the shifting role of parents and caregivers. When you were younger, your parents and caregivers likely played a central role in your healthcare decisions. They managed your appointments, kept track of your medications, and made sure that you were supported every step of the way. But as you enter adolescence, this dynamic starts to change. Parents are stepping back a little bit, and you're stepping forward to take on more responsibility for your own health and decisions. While this can feel empowering, it can also feel overwhelming at times, especially when you've been so used to relying on them. What are some of the challenges that teens may face during this transition? One of the biggest hurdles is the loss of that familiar support system. When you're so used to having a consistent team of doctors and caregivers who understand you, it can be hard to suddenly navigate a whole new system seemingly on your own. On top of that, adolescence is already an emotional time. So add epilepsy into the mix and you've got a whirlwind of social, emotional, and educational decisions. You might feel isolated or unsure of how to navigate social situations with friends, school, or even in new settings like a job or a college application. But here's the good news. You can absolutely overcome these challenges. One of the most important things that you can do is empower yourself to self-advocate. This is your health, your life, and your future. Learning how to advocate for your needs and communicate effectively with doctors and others around you is a huge part of this journey. Start by learning as much as you can about epilepsy, about your specific condition, your medications, and how epilepsy affects you personally. The more you know, the easier it will be to make informed decisions about your health. And don't be afraid to ask questions when you're at the doctor's office. That's what they're there for. It's your right to understand what's happening with your body, and speaking up is a great way to build independence. Another big part of the transition into adulthood is managing your own health insurance. As you get older, you may age out of your parents' plan and need to switch to your own. Navigating health insurance and understanding how to manage costs can be quite tricky, but it's an essential part of adulthood. Here's a tip. Take the time to learn about the insurance options available to you and don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare providers for help. They can guide you in finding the right coverage and understanding what your plan covers. It may feel overwhelming at first, but you're more than capable of managing it with just a little bit of research. In conclusion, adolescence with epilepsy is definitely challenging, but it's also a time of incredible growth. You are learning to take charge of your health, making decisions about your future, and building a stronger sense of independence. It's all about finding the balance between seeking support when you need it and stepping into your own power to navigate life on your own terms. So, if you're an adolescent living with epilepsy, just remember, you don't have to go through this alone. With the right support, knowledge, and self-advocacy, you can tackle the challenges ahead and build the future that you want. It may not always be easy, but you've got the strength to get through it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any questions or topics that you would like to see discussed, drop them in the comments below. You can contact our main office by calling 513-721-2905 or emailing us at eao@epilepsy-ohio.org. Take care, and we'll see you next time.